Hi my stamping friends, I'm Sandra at artypapercrafters.com, and today my project is one that I cannot show you in the flesh because I've already given it away to a colleague at work who was 50, and this is such a quirky little project that I wanted to share it with you, but I had to I took the photos first because I had to give it away and I haven't had the opportunity to make a video to show you how I've done it. So today I'm going to show you how you can make one of these quirky little cards. So this is the front of my card, and I made it slightly bigger than the usual size. It measured 6 by 5.5 inches, and then I scaled the layers down by 1 inch on each side. So let's move on. As you can see, I made the envelope for it as well because it didn't fit into a standard envelope, and I made a little belly band to go round it as well. And then when the card opens, this is the quirkiness of it. The little butterfly falls through the little hole that's been made using the classic label punch, and it's just quirky and I love it. And the inventor of this project is Shelley Gardner, who is the founder and CEO of Stampin' Up. So I'm going to show you how you can put one of these cards together today. So let's move that away. So for my project today, I have scaled it back down to the usual 5 3/4 by 4 1/8, which is half of a sheet of A4 cardstock. So if you want to know what the measurements are in centimetres, I will get a ruler. So this measures 11.5 by 4 1/8, and in centimetres that is 29 by 10.5, and you score it at 5 3/4 or 14.5. So that's a piece of Night of Navy cardstock for the front of our card. Then I've got a piece of mint macaron which measures 5 5/8 by 4 inches, which in centimetres is 14.2 by 10.2. And then I've got a piece of Tranquil Textures Designer Series paper, and that measures 2.5 by 5.5, which in centimetres is 13.8 by 6.3. I've got a piece of Whisper White for the inside of the card, which measures exactly the same as the DSP I've just mentioned. Then I have cut a butterfly from the Abstract Impressions framelets. They're called Springtime Impressions, and they match this. They go together with Abstract Impressions to form a bundle, and if you buy both together you save 10%. All these products can be purchased on my online shop by shopping at Arty Paper Crafters. You just click on the down arrow description bar there, and that will take you over to my shop. So let's make this card. So first of all, we're going to start putting it together. We're going to start with our piece of mint macaron, and we're going to glue that down on here. So let's get our glue. Stick that down. And then on this right hand side border I want to do a bit of stamping. So with this being mint macaron, I'm going to use the same colour, mint macaron, and I've prepped up on my card. No, I haven't prepped up. I'm going to put these little hearts. So let's get the little hearts and let's get something to put them on. So what I want to do is I want to just stamp a few of these hearts coming down on the card, because this is going to be a get well card. Like that. Right then, so now we want to layer this on here like that. So we're going to glue that on. Can you see what I'm doing? Pretty. Now the next thing is to cut our hole. So you open up the card like that, and with your classic label punch, we're going to go in as far as you can. So when you've got that part of the punch lined up with as far as it'll go, you want to come down by about an inch, because your butterfly is going to sit in there like that. So just checking that the wings of the butterfly won't come off the top there. So let's go down. As I said, put your punch so that it's up against there, and then you're about, what would I say, 1/4 of an inch from that top edge there. She says, moving it. And then we are going to punch. Now you need to keep this piece because we are going to glue it back in. So with your glue in here, and making sure that you got it the right way up, the way it came out, you are going to push it back in, and press it down, and then you're going to push that there and pull with your fingers to pull that up. And what you need to do is to make sure, unlike me, I don't think I put quite enough glue on that, so we need to put a bit more glue on the end there to make sure that that stays stuck down. And the same at this end. So when you glue your DSP, make sure that you glue it all over so this doesn't happen to you. So that's good and stuck. Make sure, and that comes across like that. Now I'm going to stamp the inside of the sentiment next, and this piece of cardstock here I can see is just a touch too wide. So let's get the old scoreboard, cutting plate, scoreboard, and let's just measure now. So we need to be, in order to miss that, it needs to be about 2 and get rid of 2 3/8 maybe. Let's see. And let's go for 2 3/8 and see how we get on with that. We can always cut a bit more off if we need to. Right. Let's cut that off and have a look and see if that fits now. Need a little border. Yeah, that works. Right, so that's and that you need to take 1/8 of an inch measurement there. So on the inside of the card, I'm going to put "Thinking of You," and I'm going to do that in Night of Navy ink. And stamp that about there. And if I didn't say that these sentiments have come from the Treat Time stamp set, Thinking of You, and I'm using Get Well Soon as well. And that comes with these Framelit dies as a bundle if you wish to save 10% on that. So that's the inside of my card like that. So let's glue that in. Right then. Line that up with a nice border on this side. Happy with that? Thinking of You. Right. So now we are going to do our sentiment on the front. And the sentiment I'm using on the front, this little cutout came from there, from this bundle, same bundle, the Treat Time. And we are going to use the Get Well Soon. So I've prepped that up on the block, and I'm going to stamp that in Balmy Blue. Balmy Blue. So down on there. Perfect. And then I'm going to use my chamois to clean my stamps. This is in the new catalogue for 2018. It's a chamois and it cleans your stamps off. You moisten it under the tap, squeeze out the excess, keep it damp, and I keep it in this stamp case, and it's perfect for cleaning your stamps off. Love it. Now I've also cut out another one in Night of Navy. Let's put these away before we have an accident with them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my scissors and snip that in half. And then I'm going to glue that on, giving myself a little border. Like that. And then I'm just going to snip these little excess bits off around here, like that. Same with the bottom. Bit of glue on that edge that we cut. Line that up, leaving the border at the top. Line that up so that's perfect unison, like that. And then that little extra edge, just cut that off, like that. See? Like that. Perfect. And that will go on here. And we're going to stick that on with a couple of dimensionals also. I think I'm going to use 3. I'm going to stick that down there. Now I've cut the butterfly from the Abstract Impressions framelets. I think I explained. Now what I did was, these glitter sheets are in the autumn catalogue. They're called Glimmer Paper, and they're in the autumn winter catalogue, and you get 24 sheets of 6 by 6, and you get them in, I think it's Grapefruit Grove, that colour, red and Tranquil Tide, I think that is, and that could be real red. And I've cut the butterfly out on that using those, and I've also cut round my butterfly using a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and, when I made my original, I just did the glimmer paper, and the glimmer paper works well, but it's not very thick, and so I wanted to strengthen mine up. And I don't know how this is going to work because I'm winging it. Do you get it? Winging it. What a joke. Right, I've got a sponge, a little piece of sponge, and I'm going to use Night of Navy. Now I don't know how this is going to turn out, so if it's a mess, well, it's a mess. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the ink, and then I'm going to just do some sponge daubing to see how that works out. And I'm going to just do some in one area to see if that looks okay. Not too bad, is it? Same here. It's just a bit of random, just to give it a bit of a different look. That's quite pretty, isn't it? Quite pretty. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit down the bottom here. That's it. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I think that looks very pretty through the glimmer paper. Right, so let's put our butterfly together. So what I'm going to do is, am I going to glue those wings together, or am I just going to put that through there and bend both like that? I'll tell you what, we'll just glue it down the middle of the body of the butterfly like that. Just glue it like that, and then we'll stick that on to our pretty glimmer paper. Pretty colour. It sort of has an iridescence about it, this green. It's sort of got like a bluey iridescence to it, and I thought that would go very well with this Tranquil Textures DSP. So now that sits in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a bit of glue on the middle of our butterfly again, just down the middle, not too much, and then you're going to centralise it down the middle of that cutout. So where you've got your cutout, you're going to position your butterfly like that in the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to just hold that for a few seconds and let that dry. And we're just going to clean up the workspace. put the inks away like that and let that dry. And then we're going to get an envelope. When we can find one, we're going to get an envelope. And I'm going to show you how you can mail it in an ordinary sized envelope. So I think that's more or less dry now. So what you do, you press that wing over gently, you press that wing over gently, and then your card will go through the mail, like that. Cute. So to show you how this works, you press your butterfly wings over on the embody like that. So you've got it stuck on that little piece. And now for the cockiness of it. So now we're going to lift up the top and we're going to go get well soon, and voila, there we have a gorgeous butterfly. Maybe used a bit too much blue ink on that, I don't know, but I think it's so pretty, such a quirky idea, and I just love that. Let me pan you out just slightly so that you can see that properly. Isn't that so sweet? And I think I prefer it with the double layer. I think that looks really pretty. So that is my project for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Should you wish to shop online at Arty Paper Crafters, click in the down arrow description bar and that will take you over to my shop. My hostess code for October is 7WHK2BF6. If you add that at the checkout, I will send you some extra little goodies from me personally at the end of the month. So that's all from me today. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, bye for now. Bye.